Welcome to Capital Dance, the DJ that everybody is talking about at this moment in time. The one and only Hannah Laing. Yes!
Hi, MistaJam. Thank you for having me on today. And it's
Hannah,
good to see you.
it's great to see you. You're in the studio right now.
Hopefully creating some more heat.
You make nothing but heat.
Thank you. I mean, I was just thinking the last time we saw each other, it was at Mambo's and that was hot, wasn't it? And that
But the fact is that you turned up and you were wearing this outfit that was just, it was kind of like Safari meets Ibiza meets
Yeah.
Superstar DJ.
I didn't know what to wear. It was so hot. And because it was like bang in the afternoon, I was like, whoa. And then when I stepped in that booth, the sweat was pouring off me. I was like,
You looked cool, calm and collected behind the decks though. You smashed it.
well, I'm glad I could put on a good front.
You're a professional. You know what you're doing, Hannah.
Thank you.
How are you though? Because summer for you, it looks like it's been crazy.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, I'm exhausted, but I think like this is the hardest I've ever been touring. So it's been non-stop, but going to each show, you do get the energy back, but it's tough and it's all so new. Like obviously I've been DJing for a long, long time, but I've never had this many shows. So yeah, it's all new, but I'm just getting used to it, trying to find that balance, partying.
You'll find the balance, don't you worry. You've got to go through it before you realise I say no to that, yes to that, no to that, yes to that. I've got to talk to you about your shoes because you
Oh, don't even go there.
you
Right, go
wore
on then.
your very expensive Balenciaga trainers to Creamfields and they got caked in mud.
I wasn't planning on going raving that hard after my set, but one thing led to another, and then the next minute I'm in the steel yard. So, and the rain was horrendous. But yeah, it was the next day for me. I didn't really care at the time, but when I had to go to the show the next day, I had like I think 20 minutes to get showered, dressed, and get to We Are Festival. So the shoes were last thing. I mean, I'd rather have a shower. But I literally played that set with them shoes, and do you know what? I was actually cringing when I was in the buggy on the way to the stage. But I was like, "Let's go. You smell all right, but don't look at my feet."
I love the fact as well that you've already got an extra pair, so you're good to go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was supposed to keep them good as well, but I made the mistake of wearing them again at the weekend. But I've got. Do you know what? I put them on Insta. It's so funny when I'm on my story. Loads of people are messaging me offering to clean them. I was like, sound. No joke.
If you are a trainer cleaning service, then please hit Hannah up. She really needs your help. Now, the reason why we're chatting is because your tune Party All the Time is this week's Jam Hot Record of the Week. Now, when you played this at Mambo, I luckily was behind the screen behind you because I lost my mind.
I wish I could have seen you.
Oh, no, I was going nuts. It was me and Ricky Hatton just going nuts. It was crazy. Why did you decide on the sample for Party All the Time?
I mean, it's an old Eddie Murphy number, obviously.
Yes.
And originally it was just a fun tune to play my sets. And I'm known as quite a party girl, so it was only fitting. And then it was like going off of my sets. And then I put it in a mix. Everyone started ripping it, put it on TikTok and SoundCloud and all that. And then it just went mad. And everyone's like, release it. When's it release? I thought, do you know what? Why not? We'll release it. But yeah, that's how it happened. And as I said, it was just for the sets. But here we are, and I'm glad to have released it now because it's been received really well, and that's the main thing.
It's been received really, really well. And for someone as old as I am who, remembers when it was an Eddie Murphy and Rick James record, and then in the late 90s, it became a house record because Sharam did it, Pat, and now you've turned it into a 2023 banger. I'm loving the timeline.
Oh, good. I'm glad you like it. Thank you.
Now, the first time that we were introduced to you on a grander scale for a lot of people across the country was when, Patrick Topping started to release your music via Trick.
Yeah.
What's it like being part of the extended Trick fam?
Yeah, like I've been a massive fan of Patrick Topping for years, I think, because the music I play is so diverse, and he was kind of the only person playing that kind of hard house trance sound. He does play a lot of house disco as well. He plays such a wide variety of stuff, but like it really made me hooked on him. Like even from his early tech house days, there was just something unique about him. So as soon as he announced he was doing his own label, I was struggling to find a home for a lot of my music and my sound. And when he said he was starting Trick, I was like, this could be perfect because, as you know, he signs a lot of different stuff. And then I was sending stuff back and forward for maybe like a year and a half or something. And like, luckily for me, like Trick had not long started, so they were able to reply to everyone at that point, and they were saying like, "Oh, it's not quite right yet," and I just kept sending stuff. And I'm glad the earlier stuff I sent didn't end up getting signed, because when I did first get the first tune signed, it was worth the wait. And then it ended up doing an EP, and now I get to do all the shows, and that's it's just been amazing. And he's such a nice guy. He's helped so many people like myself come through, and the Trick parties are insane. The energy is just different level. So yeah, happy days.
I love that, because when we had Patrick in, he was talking about how he'd been mentored by Jamie Jones when he was
Yeah,
kind of part of
exactly.
the Hot
Jamie,
Creations, and that's
yeah.
the whole thing for him, is that he wants to help the next generation come through. What's the best bit of advice he's given you?
To be honest with you, the tunes that I was sending for an EP, I was adamant that these were to come out, and like I was so set on them. They'd been doing well in my sets, and there was one that I wasn't actually that keen on. He was like, "No, Hannah, like, he's like, this is the one." And then like I spoke to management and stuff, like, "No, like you should listen to Patrick because he knows." And I'm glad I did, because now it's one of my biggest tunes. So listen to your elders.
Say that again in case my kids are listening, please. So, obviously, we spoke about you joining us at Capital Dance in Ibiza with Mentos back in July, and how that was a moment for you. It feels like summer has been full of moments, especially in Ibiza for you. And you posted something on your socials that I really wanted to talk to you about. The bar that you used to play at 9 years ago.
Oh yeah, the famous Scottish bar, the Highlander.
Tell me about this. Tell me about Hannah 9 years ago. How did you get the gig there, first of all?
So I started DJing 10 years ago, and I was also dental nursing at the same time. And I wanted to go and do a season in Ibiza, just to go and work in a bar or something. I think I'd been DJing for about 8 months or something. So I was never expecting to go over there and DJ. To be honest, I still couldn't even really DJ, but I was learning. And I was like hanging about the Scottish bar every day using the Wi-Fi, because I didn't have any Wi-Fi in my gaff. So I got speaking to like I made friends with like the bar staff and all that. And then there was one night that I couldn't even get a job behind the bar there either, because I was too late in coming. So I still didn't have a job. And one night they needed a DJ for a hen party upstairs. So it was before like the bar would be in full swing, like midnight. So this was probably about 8 o'clock in the day. It was like a 1 hour hen party coming. They needed a DJ. Could you play? And I was like, yeah, of course I can play. And I ended up playing for the hen party. It was meant to be for an hour, and I ended up playing for like 3 or 4 hours till they actually opened properly. And then they ended up offering us 3 nights a week. And I was like, I'm still learning, but hey, if I'm going to get paid for doing this, and I don't need to work behind the bar, then let's do it. And I used to play like start at 11 at night, finish at 6 in the morning. So DJing for 7 hours a night, 3 nights a week. And then that's how I learned to DJ. It would get busy, empty, fill up again. And then it taught you that, well, you obviously need to chill it out a bit when it's quiet, but then actually being able to mix for 7 hours at a time. So I learned to DJ in the Highlander, basically. And then I'd done 3 seasons there. Used to do the karaoke, like Who Wants to Come Sing and all that. But yeah, that's how it happened. So when I'd done that gig last week there again, did you see that? Yeah.
I saw that, because
Yeah.
I even saw the text message conversation that you were putting up, because you were flying to Ibiza for a show, and then it was like, do you want to come home? Do you want to come back to your old stomping ground?
Yeah, I was like, I messaged management. I was like, I just screenshot the message. I was like, don't know if this is sound, but I'm doing it anyway. And I done it. And the promoter that I was playing the actual show that I was there for, they were sound with it. And I'd went for food beforehand with the promoter from Eden, and the food took ages to come, so I was late. I was supposed to start at 10, and didn't get there 10 past 10. And when I arrived there, like it was like roadblock. They couldn't let anyone else in. I walked upstairs, and everyone was like waiting on me. People had already been DMing, like thinking that it was a joke, and I was like, no, like I'm on my way. I'll be there soon. So as soon as I went in, just like put my USB in as fast as I could. I was shaking. I was like, because everyone was just standing waiting, like a choir or something. I was like, oh, but I went, and it was so good, and I'm so glad I'd done it.
You weren't tempted to try and do an old karaoke?
Oh no!
Who's got a song?
Yeah, no, it was so good. It was so weird being back. Like, all the old bar staff that used to work there, that still work there now, they were all dancing on the bar, and it was just like being back there. It was so good.
You mentioned earlier on, though, your dental nursing, because I think when you posted on your socials that you'd got the letter saying that your dental nurse license is now over, I'm sorry, but I've been in and around the industry for a very, very long time. And when I see things like that, it just reminds me of the power of music because it's changed your entire life, hasn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Like I was touring and dental nursing full time for like, well, the last 10 years basically. I just left in October there. So I was like DJing in Ibiza on a Saturday, fly home Sunday, then work Monday to Friday. And I was just like, oh, I can't do this anymore. So, but the fact I was getting like so many shows and things were going well, I was able to leave. And then you've got to pay like a fee each year to keep on your registration. And then I got that letter like, oh, you've missed so many letters, pay your fee, like you're struck off. And I was like, thank God.
Was there ever a time when you were in the dental surgery and someone that had seen you DJ came in to get their teeth done?
Yeah, it's that more towards the end when things were starting to take off more. People would come in or people would like tweet about it after, like, oh my God, can't believe Hannah Laing's just been in my mouth. I was like, all right then.
Murder on the dance floor's playing in the background and you're there like, yeah, please. You need a scan and polish here.
Yeah, it was a bit crazy, but no, I'm glad I left when I did. And like, even when I left, I was thinking, I'll keep my registration on just in case to fall back on. But now I'm like, nah.
I love that. I love that. And I know that there's going to be people that are listening right now that are in a job that they enjoy, but maybe they don't feel like it's their vocation. And maybe they're a bit like you, that they really love music. They want to make music. They want to DJ. They want to produce. What advice would you give to people that are in that similar position that you were in while you were trying to do everything all at once?
I would say don't leave too soon, because then if you do, you might not be stable, like financially stable, and it might cause you more stress. If you're stressed, you're not going to be able to pursue what you want to do. So definitely hang off until the time is right. But when you feel it's right, just do it. And then if it doesn't work, nobody's going to die. You can always go back, get another job, but at least you say you've tried it. But I definitely say like hang off till you feel like stable enough to go.
No, I completely agree with that. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with a day job while you're actually chasing your dreams.
Oh, definitely not. I mean, it's tiring, and I wouldn't like to have been my patient on a Monday morning, but no, definitely.
Sorry about that. We need to add another crown in here. I'm sorry about that. But Hannah, you're still right at the very start of your journey, and
Yeah.
it's been an absolute honour to be an observer of what it is that you've been building. What's next for you? What are the plans?
So I'm launching my own label. So the label is called Doof. It's just basically the type of music I play gets referred to as Doof in Scotland. It's also an Australian word. And I'm going to be launching the label with my own EP in about October time.
Ooh.
So that's kind of focused just now. And then we're going to be throwing some Doof parties.
Oh, I've got to get down to a Duff party.
Oh, you do. You do.
And I also have to ask, please, can we make sure that there's double XL t-shirts? Because I want a Duff t-shirt.
Okay, done.
Even if I've got to make it myself.
Yeah, no, that can be arranged.
You are an absolute superstar, and I don't say that lightly. And keep smashing it and keep doing what you do.
Thank you so much for having me on. Appreciate it. And I'll get you that Doof tea.
Yes!